Warren County, and while they're playing Oakland, we'll be over at MTSU fighting it out with Riverdale.
4th down and 2 for the Pioneers. 2:18 remaining in the ball game. High formation behind Elrod. He'll turn, fakes it, rolls to the right, has pressure, unloads. It is incomplete as Sellers knocks it away from Smith.
Great job by Jade Sellers, isolated on the tight end. He broke on the football and almost intercepted that thing. Jade wasn't going to take anything for granted as he decided just to knock it away, and Lebanon's defense holds, and now 2:12 to go in the football game, and all we got to do is hang on to the football.
1st and 10 for the Blue Devils, just inside Pioneer territory as they fail to get the first down. 2:12, all that remains. Stafford is the tailback. As Grissom, your fullback. Look for the Blue Devils to keep it on the ground. Reeder looks over that 6-man line. Warren County believes they will. Stafford to the left side, 35-40, down to the 37-yard line. And Jerry, that's one of the best runs for a tailback on the evening.
Sam, you're right. That went for 12 yards in the first down. By far our best running play of the night.
Chris Stafford with those fresh legs just kept churning. We ran a sweep to the short side of the field to the tight end side, and lining up at tight end for us the last couple of series, well, most of the second half, has been Jeff Clemens. We've got him in there to do some of the blocking. Now he's out, and Carson returns.
1st and 10, Reeder again to Stafford. Not quite as good of a run this time, as up to meet him is Brent Jacobs. He will lose about a yard on the play, but the main thing, Tommy, the clock continues to run.
Stay in bounds, run the clock out. Let's get away from this thing. It's kind of like what they call a landing for an airplane. Anytime you can walk away from one of these, it's a pretty good one, and we're going to walk away with the W. It wasn't pretty, but a win is a win.
Clock ticks down toward a minute remaining in the ball game. 2nd and 11. Reeder gives it to Grissom up the middle. Back to the original line of scrimmage. Again in on the tackle is Brent Jacobs. And that will bring up 3rd down and 10. And Tommy, we've got just about a minute left. Of course, the big game next week with Riverdale, but really 2 weeks from now, the main game for us the rest of the season, that against Beach.
Well, Beach, we thought going into the season, Sam, that Beach had an improved football team and that we might be fighting it out with them for a playoff spot. Lebanon, of course, is going to play Riverdale next week, a chance to knock off a nationally ranked football team.
3rd and 10, Stafford left side, big hole, 30, has some speed, 20, 15, and drug out of bounds at the 12-yard line with 12 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Good job by that offensive line, finally being able to crack that defense, giving Stafford some room to run. 1st down for the Blue Devils inside with 12 seconds to go, and the football going to be spotted at the 12-yard line.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Devils. As Tommy told you, 12 seconds remaining. Stafford remains the tailback. Cherry wide to the right side. It is Jeff Clemens to the left. Reeder will just put a knee down as some tempers flaring, and that should do it for the ball game. Your final score in this evening's game at Noakes Lassiter Field, the Blue Devils 19, Warren County 6. We'll be back in just a
The post-game show with head coach Bob Dillard and your field reporter, John Bryant.
To the post-game show, I'm your host, John Bryan, with head coach Bob Dillard. The post-game show is brought to us by Chum's Convenience Stores, Greg Brothers Car Wash, College Street Church of Christ Youth Ministry, Tim Bennett Insurance, and Steve Jones at Century 21 Macon Realty. Talking here with Coach Bob Dillard as one of his biggest fans comes on the field. Coach, a win is a win is a win is a win. It wasn't pretty, but we came and accomplished what we set out to do.
Well, that's true. We did what we came here to do, and that's win a football game. They shut us down running the football. We couldn't move football on the ground, but our guys found a way to get us in the end zone through the air. So, you know, that's something you have to do. When they take one thing away from you, you got to take advantage of what they're giving you, and we did that.
Jason almost had 200 yards thrown the ball tonight, 3 touchdown passes.
Jason did a good job. He's kind of down about the couple of interceptions, but, you know, crap, those things are going to happen, and he's just got to keep his head up. He did a good job throwing the football.
He got a lot of pressure back there tonight. If I had $1 for every time he got hit, man, I'd be rich.
He took a beating. You know, we've got to do a better job keeping people off of him. We didn't give him much time to throw the football.
Coach, defensively, you look good. Basically kept them out of the end zone except for that 1 touchdown there at halftime, and that was because of penalties.
Right. That's what I told our young men just now, that, you know, defensively I felt like we had a good effort, and we kept them out of the end zone most of the night other than that one big play. And if we can do that, we got a shot to win ball games.
Coach, we travel to Riverdale next week to take on the nationally ranked Warriors.
Right.
We took them by a score of 6-0 last year. Big week.
Yeah, it's going to be a big week. Riverdale's got a good football team, you know, and nobody has to tell us that. We know that, and everybody around the mid-state knows that. So it's going to be a challenge for us.
Coach, Gannon's stung his shoulder again tonight. He has had that nagging injury all year. Is he going to be all right?
We don't know yet. He's going to go see our team doctors in the morning and at 8 o'clock, and hopefully we'll know something then.
The Ian Crockett situation, how's his knee doing?
We've been told that his knee's improving at a pace that was a little better than what they had expected. So they're going to reevaluate him first of the week, and we were told that there was a possibility he'd be back for the Riverdale game. So we're hoping that he's able to be back.
Coach, congratulations on a big region win. We had to have this one.
Right.
We got it.
Yeah, we had to have this one to get in the playoffs, and you know, we were fortunate enough to do some things and we were able to get it. So I'm just glad this one's over.
I'd like to invite everybody out to go to Riverdale, to Murfreesboro next week for the big clash in 4-5A. And Coach, good luck in this week's practice.
We need to have a good crowd over there this week, and we need a lot of jugs with them too.
Coach, once again, congratulations on the big win. The post-game show with head coach Bob Dillard has been brought to us by our sponsors: Chum's Convenience Stores, Greg Brothers Car Wash, College Street Church of Christ Youth Ministry, Tim Bennett Insurance, and Century 21 Macon Realty, Steve Jones. Back up to Tommy, Sam, and Terry for the wrap-up and the stats.
Thanks, John. And like we said in the broadcast, anytime you can walk away from one of these things, it's kind of like landing an airplane. It's a good one. Terry, what about those stats?
Tommy Lebanon improves to 6-2 on the season, 5-1 in the region as they defeat Warren County tonight, 19-6. Recapping the scoring, Lebanon got on the board with 7 seconds left in the first quarter. Jeff Clemens from Jason Reeder, a 17-yard touchdown pass. Lebanon going 81 yards in 6 plays. The extra point was no good, and at the end of the first quarter, Lebanon led 6-0. Lebanon scoring in the second quarter, 1:13 left in the second quarter. Again, Jeff Clemens with a touchdown pass reception from Jason Reeder, this time from 18 yards away, as Lebanon went 75 yards in 5 plays. The 2-point conversion pass failed, and Lebanon led at that point 12-0. And then Warren County scores with 25 seconds left in the half. Ryan Smith from Darrick Elrod, a 13-yard touchdown strike, as Warren County went 52 yards in 4 plays. Their extra point was no good. And at halftime, it was Lebanon 12, Warren County 6. The only scoring in the second half, Lebanon in the third quarter, 7:02 left. Elliott Carson from Jason Reeder, his 3rd touchdown pass of the night. This one from 18 yards away as Lebanon goes 35 yards in 4 plays. Kyle Zachary added the extra point this time, and that's how we got our final tonight. Lebanon defeating Warren County 19-6. Taking a look at the final stats, rushing yardage, Lebanon 27 carries tonight, only 58 yards on the ground. Warren County with 28 rushes for only 55. Through the air, that's how Lebanon got it done tonight. 195 yards through the air for Jason Reeder on 11 of 18 passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Through the air for Warren County, they were 7 of 17 for 72 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. Total yardage in the game, Lebanon 253, Warren County 127. First downs for Lebanon. Lebanon had 10, Warren County had 6, with only 1 first down in the second half. Turnovers, Lebanon had 2, Warren County had 1. Penalties, Lebanon had 6 penalties for 64 yards. All of those came in the first half. Warren County with 5 penalties for 35 yards. For Warren County, their individual leaders on the ground, their leading rusher tonight was Robert Officer, 18 carries for 32 yards. In passing, Dark Elrod, 7 of 17, 72 yards, 1 touchdown, no interceptions. For Lebanon, individually tonight, Jason Reeder, 6 carries for -8, Bo Grissom, 3 carries for 7, Jade Sellers, 9 carries for 8, and Chris Stafford, 9 carries for 51. Through the air, Jason Reeder again, 195 yards passing on 11 of 18, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Our leading receiver tonight was Elliott Carson with 5 receptions, 95 yards, and a touchdown. Tommy, we've said it several times, it wasn't pretty, but a very, very important victory for the Blue Devils tonight as they defeat Warren County 19-6.
It's nice to know that you can always throw the football when you have to, Terry, and it was on the line tonight. If we didn't throw it, we wouldn't have moved it.
You're right, Tommy. With only 58 yards rushing, and I can't remember a game when we only had 58 yards rushing. We rushed the ball 27 times for 58 yards. That's just a little bit over 2 yards per carry average. We weren't getting it done on the ground, but Jason, a big night, 195 yards passing, 11 of 18, and all 3 touchdowns.
And you can bet his readers watching this game, he's probably got ice packs on various parts of his body because they took off on him tonight.
He had numerous hits on his body, but still came up with a big night. Big performance by Jason.
Hey, thanks for being with us, folks. We'll be back next week bringing you the Lebanon-Riverdale replay from MTSU. For John Bryan down on the field, Terry Stafford with the stats, Sam Axley, Jeff Vaught, and Dwight Phillips. I'm Tommy Bryan wishing you a very pleasant good morning.